Hey everyone, it's Melissa. Today's video is favorites, and I looked back. I don't think I have done favorites this year. I have my book of favorites here, the book that I write things down in for favorites, and then I have an app on my phone that I keep favorites in. And I can't see where I did one for January, February, March. So this kind of encompasses all three of them. So, you know, but it's not that many. So, but it's quite a few shows, and some of them, Doug and I had to be refreshed on the ones that we had watched, like the end of last year and January. And I guess that's, you know, I guess that's one of the advantages of getting older. You don't always remember the plot lines of your stories, so you can watch them again. It's like you're watching them fresh. Okay, favorites. And the first thing is, I got a couple of pair of Havaianas, and I could just find one of them. I don't know where the other one is. It might be back in my closet where I kicked them off. But they're colorful Havaianas. They're like, got a scene on them. I really, really like Havaianas. And I was trying to think why. I think it's the thin strap. It's got this thin strap and just the cushioning and everything. It is so very comfortable. If I go for a walk, I wear my Havaianas. Everything, I wear them summer, inside, outside. I don't like to go barefooted inside. I wear them inside, outside. I'm never not wearing them year round. The only time I don't wear them in the winter time if it gets extremely cold inside and I need to wear like socks. Other than that, I've always got my Havaianas on. I just really like them, and I've tried all kinds of flip-flops, and to me, nothing comes close. They're just the best, the most comfortable. I love them. I can't do without my Havaianas. So definitely a favorite this month, the colorful ones. I wish I could find my other ones. The next one is putting gauze on my Velcro roller. My goodness, that has made such a difference in my hair and my splitting. I've got so many split ends that I'm going to be getting cut off Friday, but I don't feel like I have many new ones since I've been doing this, and I just think it's going to end up making a big difference in my hair once I get it, you know, healthier and stuff like that. But I really am so glad that I started doing this. The rollers just glide out. Never ever get caught on those brushes again. And I have said before, it has to be something like gauze where some of the bristles can come through to grip. Okay, this pencil sharpener, like for your lip pencils and your eye pencils, it's from Ulta. Now, it's got 5 sharpeners, and it's got a little case on it. It opens up down here. There's your sharpeners. That's what it looks like. And then you can take the top off and empty it. All different sizes to sharpen your pencils. And man, do they get them sharp. It's fantastic. Best sharpener. You've just got such a variety of different sizes. I love it. It's the Ulta brand, and it's just packaged so nicely. The bottom comes off where you can empty it. It goes up like that. It's great. I love this sharpener. I'm so glad I found it. Okay, I've had good luck with electronics from Anker, A-N-K-E-R. This is a 6-outlet charger. Just real simple. We have them. I gave one to my granddaughter. I have one beside my bed for my iPad and for my phone at night. I have one downstairs where I charge these zappers that I carry around that look like tennis rackets to get rid of mosquitoes that bite me all the time. To keep multiple things charged, these are fantastic, and I really like this one. I've always had really good luck with it from Anker. I'm going to go to some makeup items that I've written down, and I may come across others when I check my phone because, you know, it's been a bit. 2 blushes. One of them is from Milani, and it is the Coral Crush, but I've got to tell you, it comes out more pink. And the other one is Tower 28 in the color Rush Hour. This one is from Milani, and this one is from Tower 28. The Tower 28 one is a bit different formula, but just as nice. And it's more of a peachy orangey color. And the other one is a peachy pink, I find. I like them a whole lot for different reasons. I like the melt blushes too. Those are really nice. But I've kind of gotten on this Tower 28 kick and love it. And then I discovered the Milani one too, and I really like it a lot. So these two blushes are new favorites. When I want more of an orangey look, I do the Tower 28. When I want more of a pinky look, I do the Milani. Even though it's a coral, it is a lot of pink, I think, in it. So it's nice. They're both nice. Okay, this from Morphe, this Matte Essentials. It's the 18. I used to think it was like 18 watt, you know, like a light bulb. I think it's 18. WT stands for warm tone, because I saw they had a CT, which I figured stood for cool tone, and those were more cool colors. So this is the warm palette. It has been a favorite, and you know, something I just noticed, I didn't have to, it looks pretty clean, doesn't it? Which means it doesn't have a whole lot of kickback to it. You know, it doesn't have a whole lot of fallout, because I haven't wiped it down, and I just used it yesterday even. You know, I've used it a bunch of times, and I used it yesterday, and I didn't clean it off, but it looks pretty clean, I think. So, you know, that tells me there's a whole lot of, yeah, there's like 4 shades here that I used yesterday, and you don't even see where I used it. I used some of this, and then up here, and yeah, I used several of them. That kind of amazes me, because usually, you know, especially if it's got a lot of fallout, it'll just be all over the place. But this one is not. I'm kind of impressed with that. And it wasn't hard to put on, like I didn't have to pull to get it to spread. And then the next one is the Tiny Marvels that I did the collaboration with Mary. It was in memory of Mel Thompson. It's just beautiful. I've worn it several times. It's a newer purchase as well as the other, but it's just been worn several times. It's gorgeous. I'm going to do more looks, I think, with this, because it's a beautiful palette. And then the True, this is my most recent, the True Match Foundation. Even though it is a mess, and I know several people said, you know, just buy a pump for it. I bought a pump for it. Well, we shouldn't have to. We've paid good money for this. Now we got to go out to Amazon, and we got to spend more money. Then it's, you know, while we're at Amazon, we're going to see something else we got to add to our cart. Well, yeah, I need that. Yeah, I need that. Then before you know it, you spend a lot of money that L'Oreal should have just put it right the first way. So I resent that. I resent having to buy something else to make it work. That makes me mad. So while it's a great foundation, here I am complaining. It's a wonderful foundation, but please change your packaging, L'Oreal. I think they probably will. They have on other products, so that surely they will on this one too. I do have 2 fails. The first one is that brow top coat from L'Oreal that I got that I used in my last video. Is awful. It burnt. It's just a liquid, as liquidy as water, and you brush it on and it stings. It's like fingernail polish remover. It's terrible. So that was a fail. And here's another fail. I got this when, you know, you're laying there when you got COVID. I had COVID, and so I was laying there, you know, resting, and, you know, you get to looking at things, and somebody, I cannot think who made a video, and they were talking, I can't even remember if it was Instagram or YouTube video or TikTok. And they were talking about how wonderful the Style Edit, the spray root color was, how wonderful it was. I thought, well, shoot, I need that then. Even though I like the root, you know, color, the spray that I use, I thought, no, I need that. So I got the one Blonde Perfection. Now, I don't know, but that didn't look dark. That didn't look blonde to me. I don't know. It just didn't look... I tried to hold it away and spray, but if you get up close, it's real dark. But if you hold it away, even, you know, down around the edge. I tried holding it back, and I just thought it looked dark brown. I didn't think it looked blonde. I thought that was a fail. I didn't like it. I wish I could remember who talked about how much they loved it and how it made their blonde hair look so good. I thought, it didn't make my blonde hair look like anything. Okay. So that was a fail to me. Okay, let me look on my app, see if there's anything else I have missed. Okay, TV shows. The first one is Bloodlands, and I'll have to look up how we watched it, which app or whatever we watched on. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's a thriller like you wouldn't believe. So it takes place in Northern Ireland, and so you get your conflicts from the past. So you have your detective, and he has ties to the past with something that happens in present day, and it gets all drawn in, and people who are not who you think they are. It was fantastic. You are on the edge of your seat, and you're looking, Doug and I were looking at each other going, holy cow, holy cow. It was wild. I don't know how they're going to continue with it, with the season finale. I don't know if they will or if that was it. Bloodlands. It was fantastic. My goodness, it was fantastic. We loved it. Okay, the next one is Karen Pyrie. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So this one, it's a cold case that is being investigated, and they chose Karen, this podcaster. A podcaster takes a cold case and draws a lot of attention to it in a true crime podcast. So people are demanding that the police look at it again. So the chief appoints Karen to head up the cold case unit to look into it. So she goes back in the past, and it shows what happens in the past and what happens to this victim, and the suspects in the present day, and how it all ties together. It's very, very good. Very good, and I can highly recommend it. That one was BritBox, is where we watched it. The next one is Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory. It's the life and how he rose to be one of the biggest schemers of the Ponzi scheme, I guess there ever was. It's called The Monster of Wall Street, and it's just really, really good. And we just really enjoyed it. You know, it just tells the whole story of how it started and what happened, and really goes into depth, and it was well done. Netflix. There was another season of Vera. Talked about Vera time and time again. Love her. Love the acting. Love the storyline. Everything. It's one of our top mystery series that we watch, and every time there's a new season that comes out, we are thrilled. The Founder, and that was on Netflix. We really enjoyed that. That was good. It's the story of Ray Kroc, who was, well, supposedly the founder of McDonald's. It's a little more complicated than that. Michael Keaton stars in that. He was so good. I like Michael Keaton. He was my favorite back when he did Mr. Mom. I loved that movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. But he did such a good job with this of being ambitious, but sort of sleazy too, and it's just really good. So The Founder, it's really enjoyed it a lot. The next one I heard about from Mary Glitzy Fritzy, it is Candy. It's the story of Candy Montgomery back in the 80s. There was a, wow, it's hard to describe without telling too much. It was on Hulu, and it's a story about a crime that took place back in the 80s. Jessica Biel, she did a good job playing Candy Montgomery. She's a good actress, and her husband Justin Timberlake was in it in this series too. So we really enjoyed it. It's a true story. It's like a docu-series. It's a true story of a very vicious crime that took place in back a long time ago, and they get the, you know, the feeling of what the late 70s, early 80s decor was, and the hairstyles, and, you know, it's just crazy wild. but they got it down to a T. It brought back a lot of memories of that time. But it's a really good story. And Jessica Biel, she did a great job. She really did. I'm surprised that she didn't get more recognition for this part. It came out in 2022, but I thought she did a great job. I hadn't heard of it, and I hadn't heard of her getting any kind of recognition, but I thought she did a fantastic job. So, Candy. So the next one I forgot to mention earlier because I'm down in my stories and going into podcasts now, but it was the Panera Bread tomato soup. You can buy it in your grocery store now. They've got it at Ingles here and also Food City here. Those are the two main grocery stores in town. And they both carry it. It is fantastic. And the nice thing about it, it is gluten-free. A lot of tomato soups do have gluten in it because they will use flour to thicken it. But this one does not, and it's just so rich tasting. It's a very good comfort food. I ate it all winter long. I will eat it all summer long, and just really enjoyed it. If you like tomato soup, it's a really, really good one. Okay, the next one is a podcast that I listened to with bated breath during the Murdoch trials, and it's still worth going back and listening to it now if you've never listened to it. It is and my friend Karen told me about it. It is the Murdoch Murder Podcast, and it's done by Mandy Matney. She has been investigating the Murdoch family since that fateful night in 2019. So it's very good, but start at the beginning and go all the way through if you really want the complete history of the family and the things that took place by a journalist that has lived it and knows firsthand all about it. She did a great job, an absolutely wonderful job going all the way through, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you, Karen. The next one is the next podcast that it's a recent find, but I have just really, really enjoyed listening to it. It's true crime, but it's not really murders. It's called Scamfluencers, and it's people that, a lot of them are influencers. Some of them have been on YouTube and still are on YouTube or on TikTok or Instagram, and it's about some scams that have been done, and it's fascinating. And it's two women, they go into it, they've got, very nice voices. I enjoy listening to them, and they have, good banter back and forth. So, like I said, it's not your typical true crime where somebody gets brutally murdered. It's a scam, and it's just really interesting. I finished season 5, and then I'm going backwards. I'm going through the ones on season 4. It's hard to sometimes get, I need to, do things on YouTube, answer comments or make videos or something, but I get so engrossed in listening to that I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. It's kind of like that because I get so interested in it. So that's a really good podcast to listen to, which is, it's just hard to believe what people will do sometimes. It really is. Another one is Murder with My Husband. It's Peyton and Garrett, and if you like listening to true crime, I think they do a good job. She has always been a true crime follower, and so she will explain the crimes to her husband, and he will, have his raw comments about it and, kind of give feedback of because he's never heard of any of these crimes that people have been talking about. And so she will tell him about it, and he will give, his opinion. So that's always kind of interesting to hear firsthand someone that has never heard or doesn't really follow the true crime genre, to hear his reaction on it. And they just seem like a real sweet little couple. So Murder with My Husband, I do listen to that one. That one's worth listening to. I listen to it on the podcast app, the Apple Podcast app. So there's that one. I think that is everything, and I think I've got it too long, but anyway, hopefully it'll be okay. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm going to go get this edited and put up and then vacuum. So I appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the week. I sure do appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of the week, and take care. Bye-bye.